Agriculture Ministry says it believes that the illegal movement of animals out of a foot-and-mouth quarantine zone in Limpopo is probably responsible for the fact that this outbreak has now been found in 5 provinces. It means there will now be strict quarantine measures to stop the disease spreading to other animals. Other countries may also impose restrictions on our exports of cloven-hoofed animals. All of this means that farmers, our agricultural industry, could lose a huge amount of money. And in some cases, animals may in fact have to be slaughtered. Gerhard Schutte is the chair of the National Animal Health Forum. Gerhard, good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. It's a big outbreak. It's only 56 cases the last time I checked, but the fact that it's in 5 provinces, that's what's so disturbing. What options are there to try and limit this outbreak?
Well, first of all, we must remember that foot and mouth is a state-controlled disease. So the first line of defense is exactly the state. And we also know that agriculture is a provincial affair. So, and we have foot and mouth endemic within the National Kruger Park because it's endemic within wild buffalo and other game species. So the first line of defense is the provinces of Limpopo, Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal. And the defense there is fences, vaccination, surveillance. But it's now very clear that we didn't get that one right because we had an outbreak in 2019 in December, and we lost our foot and mouth disease-free status from the International Animal Health Organization, the OIE. Now we would have to fight foot and mouth outside of the so-called endemic area. And as you rightly stated, it's very disturbing that we have now cases of foot and mouth in the northwest, Gauteng and Free State provinces. Now the options there is culling. Of course, there's a very stringent movement control within the demarcated areas, and the other option is either vaccination or slaughter. And it's totally a team effort between government and industry. They create what they called a joint operation center in each of these provinces dealing with the issues, and we as an industry would like to take hands. We think we can win this one, but it must be a team effort.
It seems that at least one person has been arrested for crossing that quarantine line. There's a foot-and-mouth zone in Limpopo. You're not allowed to cross it with cloven-hoofed animals, but I understand that he did that with some goats. Now, I mean, this surely shows how hard these measures are to implement. Very difficult to stop people, to stop animals from being moved. It's very likely he maybe have been taking them, to another member of his family, for example. This is quite difficult to do.
No, I agree. Movement control is very, very, very difficult. But we don't see this as just a little incident. This is industrial sabotage, and we will deal with anyone smuggling the virus out of those areas in a very harsh way. Because this impacts so severely on our animal industries in this country. We are very competitive when it comes to the export market, whether it's wool, whether it's meat, whether it's moe, hides and skins, the dairy industry. So we really need to fight these outbreaks as a team and get back to where we were, because internationally we are very competitive in terms of these products. Also, of course, stud animals. And just a little figure, 1.2 million households in South Africa owning livestock. The industry is 40% transformed, and it plays a vital role in income and food security within this country. Luckily, we all know that foot and mouth does not have any effect on human health. This is a disease that impacts on trade. And now, because we lost our foot and mouth disease-free status with the OIE, it's all about bilaterals, and we have to create trust with our trading partners to carry on with exports.
Gerhard, you used the phrase industrial espionage. I mean, did someone just take their goats across the border, or did someone do this deliberately to try and infect animals?
I said sabotage.
Sabotage,
I think
yes.
it was deliberate. That's why there was an arrest. And we have other information of smuggling. I call it smuggling the virus out of the endemic areas. And as I already indicated, we will deal very, very harshly with them as government as well as industry.
I know it's possible to vaccinate animals against the disease. You want to create a quarantine zone. Does vaccination work? I mean, would you try that before you move on to culling?
Vaccination worked very, very well. But if you want to get your foot and mouth disease-free status back, you must be very carefully how do you vaccinate. Vaccinate has been ongoing for many, many years in those 3 provinces that I referred to. And vaccination can be considered, but as I've already indicated, that will be the call of the Minister of Agriculture, and it must be very, very selectively done, but it can be done. And at this stage, we procure our vaccines from Botswana, and that's another thing. The Agricultural Research Council is very far advanced in putting up a vaccination factory to produce our own vaccines in terms of foot and mouth, and that must now be put into the fast lane.
Gerhard Schutte, Chair of the National Animal Health Forum, I really appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed. Just to